Happy day, Clinton County, Wilmington, Ohio, 45177. Went to the council meeting tonight. Had some intentions of speaking, changed my mind. The place was packed. And the reason it was packed, there was concerned citizens about the development of land, rezoning it from residential to light industrial. I think what I gathered is there's a lot of people that don't like the unknown, especially when it comes to fucking with the values of their properties. And I think everybody could jump on board with that. But then when the definition of light industrial was read, and I think that gave them a better idea. But even then, I don't know. I mean, this reminds me of the highway that went down and went in the backyards of people on Loving Lane here, which those are some pretty substantial houses over there, and that pissed a ton of people off. I mean, it did. I mean, there was people losing their minds. In fact, two of the people that had houses sold immediately. But I mean, when you this non-disclosure bullshit, I mean, that just seems deceptive. Why? I mean, so you don't want to tell the people what you're bringing in, but you just expect them to fucking swallow it. That's horseshit. I mean, it really is. But then Larry Roberts stood up and okay, so I hope that these people. I mean, I don't trust his lawyer for shit. I don't give a shit. I'll look him in his fucking face and tell him that, and I have reason not to. Just because. That's just because. I mean, I can go into detail, and if he ever has a problem, by all means, let's sit down and I'll discuss live on a fucking podcast and show why I don't trust you. But on the same token, you have a man, not lawyer, standing up and staking his word that it's not going to negatively affect anyone, and I would think that would mean a lot. And on another token, there's nobody that can ever say that family is not done for this community. Like, I mean, nobody can ever take that away. I mean, they've done a shit ton for this community. That's just it is what it is. And if the man gave his word, and could you imagine, the havoc that would be, after, okay, well, if they came in and the entire community hated it, and somebody stood up and said, the fucking horse trailers, blah, 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 they're all pissed off. You know what? I mean, some of those bitches seem kind of like, okay, we're dipping into Karen territory now. I mean, who the hell doesn't like to see a damn horse trailer go down the road with a fucking horse head hanging out of it? I mean, I do. I mean, who can gripe about that? So I mean, some of the bitches were just not really to the standard of going up and taking the mic. But anyway, everybody has the right to do whatever the hell they want to do, and I'm glad they do it. On the same token, come on. But I mean, after hearing it, I mean, and there's not going to be any outdoor effects. But the one piece I didn't hear, what's going in the air? Okay, or is it going to be another, Aristy type deal? Let's face it, there's some nasty shit getting put in the air out there. I mean, the EPA even claimed it was lots of nickel, I think it was. I don't know. But non-disclosure to me means deception. And that's just not fair to me. And why would there be such a disclosure? Well, I don't know. I think that should have been more defined in this meeting to help people understand. While, Mr. Peel had some good selling points, he blew the entire fucking room away when he said, well, the ambulance wouldn't have to go all the way around the railroad tracks. Hey, dumbass, they're right down the road from you. They don't have to go around the railroad tracks. They fixed that fucking problem years ago. I'm sorry. If you're gonna sell something and present something, be accurate at least. I mean, everybody's like, what the fuck is he talking about? There's a EMS right down the road from him. It's been there for years. Oh, guess what? There's even a police station, a clandestine police station down the road. Come on, man. I mean, I don't know. If yeah, I mean, if I'm trying to sell a community on something, which I don't think Larry really has to. I think it was out of out of a courtesy. I mean, because the council is going to listen to the people. And do I think it's going to have any sway on their decision? Fuck no. No. I mean, do I think that entire thing was nothing more than, hey, let's appease the people, let them come up and have a fucking few words, and then let's go get this shit done. That's essentially what you saw. Now, could there be some things that would really stop this shit dead in its tracks? Of course there is. Get a petition with 5, 6, 7, 8,000 fucking signatures on it, and then you start rocking and rolling and you start a fight. But do you really want to do that? I mean, let's face it. I mean, I think there's, how many jobs? That wasn't spoke about. There was jobs mentioned. How many? What kind? What's the salaries? What's the education level needed? Is it suited? For this community where the average person is not a college graduate. So, I mean, lots of questions that the council didn't have. I was kind of disappointed in. I really was. But on the same token, I mean, the guy said he swore that he would never do anything to negatively affect Clinton County. Well, a couple fuel spills later, no, I'm joking. I don't think business is ever a wrong thing to approach. I do think the whole non-disclosure thing that's some bullshit. That I'm sorry, it just is. I mean, in Vegas, I would bet a whorehouse is probably considered light industrial. Thank God we're not in Vegas because they'd be sneaking a whorehouse in us. I don't think that's what it is. I mean, but playing devil's advocate, I understand. The people, do they want a factory in their backyard? I don't think it's going to be in their backyard. They mentioned buffers that would have to be put in place. Sometimes those things work, sometimes they don't. The decibel piece, that would be something because I hear that fucking fence place over there. I hear it at night. Nobody's going to tell me you can't hear that shit at night. I mean, I don't think that's light industrial. I think that's more like, flat out. And I don't know the terms and the codes, but I think that's straight up industrial. Is it fun seeing some of the truck drivers getting stuck and blocking up traffic? Sometimes 15, 20 minutes. No, but does everybody live through it? Yeah. But I think for some of these old people, I think the biggest thing is not having a voice. The traffic. I think those are but I think to myself, I drive by these areas all the time. I don't see these fucking people outside all the time. I don't. I mean, I'm just being honest. I don't see people out out in the yard. Let's just be real here. But me, if I had my say, I mean, I'm going to be for the I would approve it. I would. I mean, because again, if you're adding employment, so also light industrial. I've been in light industry. It's incredibly quiet, especially if it's like a 3PL shipping, something like that, where the forklifts are electric. The only piece that would really piss me off is some of the 3PLs that I've been around. There's been semi traffic backed up for a fucking mile, and you don't believe that? Troll your asses down to Worldwide Boulevard in Hebron, Kentucky, and get a load of that fucking place around late November. So that's not an exaggeration. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've ran that shit. I know it. Um, so there are some legitimate concerns, but I don't think it's anything that nah. I mean, quite frankly, if it were me and I was Larry, I would have got it there myself. Because when you put somebody like a fucking used car salesman like what I saw, because there's some lawyers that are like used car salesmen. They'll eloquently play shit, and then when you say something so fucked up as that guy did, you just lost interest because that's showing a genuine and a genuine and genuine. I'm serious. So, oh, you've got all this care in the world, and you don't know there's a fucking EMS a football's throw away from your dumbass. Come on, man. How long did you think about that? I'm not degrading you, but listen, come correct or not at all, man. You don't you're pushing people into something, and you're not being accurate, and that's what they look for. They look for inaccuracies because now they can go around telling who did you know there's a fire station by him. There is, dude. That shit's been remedied a long time ago, and that just shows a disconnect. These people aren't they're not connected to like what we call normal people. You know, sorry. I mean, could I bet you $1 million to a donut. I could have sold that shit 10 times better. And that's called getting involved in and with people, being genuine with people, knowing what the fuck you're talking about, and not being disconnected and ingenuine and sensitive and deceptive. And agree. Say, you know what? I agree with you. I 100% agree with you that it seems deceptive. It does. But then you stake your word. I give you my word. I would never harm this fucking community. Not like that, but that's where you get your pitch, and that's where you get attention. Where you hey, I know your concerns, but let me. I'm putting my word, my reputation on the line here. I'm doing this. I'm doing it. I live here. Go and but having like a used car salesman stand up there that doesn't have the best reputation in the world anyway. You may think you do, but let me assure you, my friend, you don't. You don't. Um, and there's reasons why. I mean, in my opinion, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Um, uh, yeah, deception is never. It's I don't know, but me personally, I would I would be for it. I mean, fuck, I mean, I don't live far. Um, um, so yeah, I would, but then again, if it were me, I would get the names of every person that spoke against it and say, "May I have a moment of your time, please?" Outside the fucking lawyers. Listen, when you have a fucking lawyer in front of you and you're trying to pitch something right out of the gate, why the fuck you need a lawyer? Why? I can understand why the young lady was there, you know, pitching, why you're wanting to rezone, but then have somebody try to another one stand up and sell your shit. That doesn't show genuineness. That shows disconnect, and that shows okay, you got to have a fucking lawyer here. You're hiding something. And oh, by the way, here's this non-disclosure. Nah, man, that's not how you get in touch with people. Not fucking real people, at least. Maybe up in those fucking skyscrapers and and big cities, that shit might work. But you're looking, people that spend their lives and work their asses off for a fucking little piece of fucking land. That by God, hey, it might not be much, but it's theirs, and they're going to have a concern if they got fucking people from all over the fucking world driving trucks in their backyard. I mean, for real. So me, I would get a hold of every and say, you know what? I apologize for there not being a better understanding. Can I please take a moment of your time and better explain this myself? That's what I would do. I mean, perhaps you don't give a shit, and that's okay too. You don't have to. I think this. Honest to God, again, earlier. I think this shit was a done deal before it ever even got to the fucking council meeting. I mean, that's how business is done around here. My opinion. You can't change it. I can have it. And I think, hey, let's appease them. Let's make them think they count and have a word. Have a word in edgewise. That's not bullshit. Bullshit. It's just what I'm saying. It's my belief. I'm sort of like the George Carlin in that fucking in that room. What the fuck? Look, okay, nice act. Okay, you gave the seniors a time to get up to the mic and act like they made a fucking difference. I told them. And really, in the back of your mind, is okay. What the fuck ever? When do we start? Write this fucking check. Just speaking my opinion and the realities that I believe exist. But yeah, just a little piece of advice, man. If you're wanting to speak to people, don't do it through a fucking lawyer. I'm going to tell you right now. Anybody that has something to say to me, if they got a fucking lawyer present, I'm not going to talk to you. I mean, that's just telling me what. First of all, why the fuck is he here? He or she. You're wanting to tell me something that, okay, one of two things. You're afraid of what's going to come out of your fucking mouth and it being held against you, or are you going to try to deceive me? That's what normal people think. It's my opinion. I'm going to dig into this budget that the mayor's presented. I did see a couple of things that was kind of questionable. However, the last one that I looked at was I mean, okay, so let me explain something to you. When you get into people's pockets and you define something as miscellaneous, no fuck that. I want to know. Okay. Hey, Dad, can I borrow $100,000 for miscellaneous? No. I mean, when you get into somebody's wallet or their purse, they don't want to see miscellaneous. They want an articulated, well-defined, well-stated, hey, where's my money going? How is my money being spent? Down to the penny. How itemized to what dollar figure is it itemized? Is it down to roughly 10,000, 5,000 to the penny? People care about that. Okay, has there been lavish salaries created? I don't know. But this is people's tax dollars. Okay, so hey, you know what? I was paying this fucking guy over here, $10,000 a year. Why is this same person now making 50 grand? What the fuck's he doing different? I mean, and I say that because Mr. Melander down here, the guy who threatened to quit and throw some disciplinary councils on a couple of these jackwagons down here that more people I don't trust. And that's sad that you can't fucking trust a person who swore a fucking oath, an oath to be honest and hold integrity and have honor, and they're fucking liars. I can prove it. I mean, challenge me. There's an easy solution. Challenge me. But anyway, this guy has, I'm going to file some grievances on you. I got a problem. Oh, wait, don't do that. Don't quit. This lawyer put in a damn resignation letter. All of a sudden, this guy's salary goes from like 70 to 140K a year. His shit, he was making more than the fucking prosecutor himself, the assistant. Why? Because the prosecutor didn't care. He's on his fucking way out. But was he within the realms of paying him that much? Yes. But what about the other people that's been there 10, 12, 13, 14 fucking years? Kind of just shit on their face, didn't you? Anyway, my opinion. Yes, my opinion. I love that term. I simply do, because I can have it. And there's a constitutional right that gives it to me. And I got a fucking lawyer that says so. Yeah, I said a lawyer. Speaking of lawyer, this 1A lawyer is the shit. And honestly, I've never been, I've never had one that spoke so clearly and honestly. I dig that. I do. Anyway, again, just a little pointer. if again, Mr. If it was me, if I think, I don't think, I know, had you stood up by yourself after the lawyer requesting rezoning, of course, and said your piece, I think you wouldn't. I don't think you would have had an ounce of fucking kickback. My opinion. But if you don't think every person in that fucking room heard your lawyer, to which I would imagine you pay a lot of money to, make a simple fucking mistake as not knowing the geographical fucking location of an EMS that's been there for fucking years, and not to add a police station as well, and then try to sell that shit as if it's a benefit, that hey, the EMS, as if it's going to be some kind of life-saving fucking a benefit. Get the fuck out of here, man. Come on. I'm not saying that to you, sir. I'm saying to that dipshit lawyer that went up and spoke the way he did. And I don't give a fuck. I'll say what I want. Say it to your face. You know what? I'll say this. The guy, Mr. Peel, the lawyer, he had me sold up until that. Really. I'm like, well, fuck. This is, he's what he's saying is it sounds genuine. But then that came out of your mouth. And then you fucking, okay, here comes the fucking lawyer. I mean, okay, so all the deception just flooded my mind, and it happened to the entire room. And I'm sure you heard, oh, what the fuck is he talking about? And, so, yeah. But again, going back to the piece, the man put his word on it. I would much rather have heard and just be left with taking that man's word than hearing that fucking sales pitch that lawyer gave. And I bet you $1 million to a donut, that's what all those normal people in that room would have rather heard. Genuine normalcy. Try that shit on without a fucking lawyer. I know it sucks and sometimes dangerous not to do that. I'll sue you. I mean, there's people getting sued for fucking ellipses, 3 fucking dots. Most people use those with like, hey, I'm going to say something else. Pause, But no, there's a technical term. It's called ellipsis. Who knew? So yeah, be careful when you're on social media, kids, because if you use 3 dots, somebody's mommy and daddy might come and fucking sue you. You fucking. I've seen it all. Anyway, yeah. If there's any doubters, I wouldn't, because again, the guy stood up and gave his word. And has he shit on this community yet? I don't think so, not to my knowledge. In fact, I think everything's been beneficial so far. I mean, how many jobs have they provided here so far? I mean, let's face it, they could close that fucking thing out there and move to another state if they wanted to. Hey, really, Wilmington? Okay, bye. And now we have another DHL on our hands. Catastrophe. I mean, sincerely. I mean, when you've got people that's providing jobs and you're not getting a little bit of love in return, maybe okay, well, fuck you, bye. A lot of you people are going to be dead in 3 or 4 fucking years, but your grandchildren are going to need a fucking place to live. But hey, thank grandma and grandpa, they fucked you, because I could have a seriously high paying jobs out here for you. But guess what? They had a problem with me creating more business and creating more jobs. So hey, is this why a lot of shit has been sent to the Asians? I don't know. Was it people being Karens? I'm not saying people tonight were all Karens. I think there was one there that might have been. But the concerns are genuine. I mean, they really are. So I'm just playing both sides of the spectrum. They're devil's advocate and the topic and the context and you know what I mean. It was yeah. I think the lawyer was a bad fucking addition for this evening. My opinion. I bet everybody in that room would have agreed. But it's okay. It's your dealings, and I think it's already a done deal. I think it was just a night of appeasement. Maybe, perhaps I'm wrong, and maybe I am, and that's okay. But I mean, I've seen how businesses operate. I've protected a few, and I've listened in, and um, yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of things happen behind closed doors, and then it's like, okay, well, now let's go let the people think they matter. So that's a lot of times in government, but who knows how much money this thing is going to. But I mean, from the sounds of it, I mean, I would hate to see it not be something beneficial because I really would, because that would be fucking horrible. But then again, to date, I can't think of any atrocious events that um, the Roberts family has done to this community other than beneficial and good. I mean, jobs galore. If I'm not mistaken, they're drivers of the highest paid in the fucking country. Uh, go go somewhere and find a truck driving job that pays that fucking high. I mean, I tell you right now, I ran UPS. They don't make that much. Not starting out, they don't. Fuck. In fact, you're gonna be waiting about 4 or 5 years to even fucking get in a seat of a truck, unless you're that one person. That's the lottery thing that they have out there. They used to, where they would hire, get the opportunity to go outside the union and hire one person for driving. So yeah, so at least, I don't even want to get on the fucking topic of a union. Don't fucking, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not pro union. I mean, getting out of the United States Marine Corps and going into management at a union facility was the most challenging thing I've ever done in my entire life. It was, because me, as a sergeant in the Marine Corps, I've got so many people under me that I can point fingers. But you know what? We lead by example. You know, there's gunnies that go out and grab a fucking broom, and master sergeants and first sergeants. They're out in the shit with us. They're doing what we're doing, and they're never too proud to do it. Um, and that's where, when I went into UPS, it's like, you can't do that. That's union work. Guy just got out of fucking back surgery, and I was helping him unload a truck, and one of those old crusty folks like, I'm fucking filing a grievance. I don't give a shit. Do it. I said, you're gonna say, okay, you know what? I got a better idea. Get your fucking ass in here and load it. I need my job, and you have to call someone. No, I don't. Okay, I'm gonna go in that office. I'm gonna act like I fucking called everybody, which I didn't do. But the one term that I use, are you now failing to follow proper procedure? I'm asking you to do something. Yes or no? Because I'll have your ass before the union rep just as fast as you file your grievance. But this was, I mean, what really kicked me in the nuts is this is a human fucking being struggling, who had to come back to work after a surgery. I mean, you never know. Doctor says, well, you can do a little bit. You can, but it's a guy's back. His duties were unloading a truck. And this fucking guy had a problem with me helping him. In fact, I told the guy, get the fuck out of the truck, go rest, man. I got this. And do you know, I found out because when I got in the back of a truck, I there was this thing that was created. Won't say by who. If I'm training someone, I can do all the work I want. And I could. And I pissed a lot of these old crusty fucking union guys off. And I don't care. It's about getting the fucking mission complete. It's not about, hey, let's slow the process down so I can call 100 fucking people to come in here before I can tell this guy to do something. Fuck that. No. I mean, okay, hey, dipshit, you want to try that in a firefight? Hey, drop your ass off in the middle of a fucking of a hot LZ or something and say, hey, you got to go call these people before you can engage. I bet $1 million to a donut. Oh no, that's different. No, it's like, hey, fuck the company as much as you can to get as much out of them as you can. That's my, I mean, that's, I'm sorry. You know, there's a lot of people that can deal with that shit. Not me. Not me. No. And they seen I was driving a government vehicle to work on a daily basis. And they're like, Tony, what else you doing? They know your fucking business what I'm doing. And yeah, they were like, and then they said, they called me and said, well, you know, we think whatever you're doing is a conflict. I said, oh, it is. Tell me how. I'm interested. Please tell me how. I said, I'm listening, because I can promise you that government vehicle that I've been issued out there has nothing to do with shipping. So preach to me about your conflict. They couldn't. Busted their ass on that. And they said, well, we need you to go over here. You know, we need you to be flexible. Can you go over here for the next year? No, I can't. You hired me for here, and it was in my contract. I'm to stay here, and I don't want to excel here. I don't care. Your beer money and insurance, better insurance. Because I will say this, they had some kick-ass insurance. Kick-ass insurance. And for a lot of people, it's a stand-up place to work. But I'm going to tell you right fucking now, if I have RL Carriers and UPS, I'm going fucking RL Carriers 10-1. I don't give a shit. And nobody's going to tell me different. I have experienced one, and I've got friends and family that work at the other, and it sounds like fucking utopia compared to the Big Brown. And oh, by the way, tell me about the strike that happened back in the fucking 80s when they were paying people that are used to making $700-800 a week $25 fucking dollars. Oh, but I'm paying your monkey asses to fucking to keep me employed. But yet when I am unemployed, but well, hey, you're driving your fucking Lincoln from your brand new Lincoln from hub to hub. How you doing? How you doing? Fuck how I'm doing. You're paying me $25 a week, motherfucker. That's how I'm doing. Fix this shit. Now, see, I can't do that. And you know what? Again, I don't mean to piss anybody off. I mean, some people can jive with that shit, and that's to each their own. Just my personal experience, my personal opinion. I don't need to pay a fucking soul to stand for my work ethic. I don't. I don't believe that shit. Again, hey, to each their own. I don't. This, if some of you work for a union, by all means, keep paying them, do what you got to do, and you're surviving. It's a good company. Don't get me wrong. It's not for me. I don't like having a third party speaking for my work ethic whatsoever and what I'm capable of doing. No, if I fuck up, hey, I'm going to deal with the consequences. And it's like there was like day 3 in management. Yeah, she comes to work whenever she wants to. And I'm sitting there looking at this guy, and this guy was a dipshit that I worked with. And I hope you're listening, because you were a fucking dipshit. As far as management material, well, I think he was fired. But and I was like, okay, so how are you documenting this? Are you documenting it? Well, we ain't gonna do no good. Yeah, that's the only good it'll do. That's how you be effective. You document, you document. Take the hearing, and then bye-bye. Funny, I got rid of them. I mean, but I don't know. And that's where some of these people who are so-called leaders condition that shit. They allow the laziness. Well, when you whip out an audit sheet, okay, so here we have a certain standard here that you have to abide, that you have to operate by. It's been set by science. It's been set by your coworkers. There's methods behind it. Okay, are you going to be able to stand here and dick off? No, you're not, because if you don't hold and maintain a certain standard, I'm going to train you to where I think you can do it. And if you still don't do it, then I'm going to write your ass up. I'm going to warn you first. But again, everybody's have to remember, this is an at-will state. They don't have a fucking reason to fire you. Just bye-bye. Get the fuck out. But a lot of people, when if you knew how much money it took to hire a person, you want to save them first. But a lot of people just don't give a shit, and their work ethic is down the shitter because the federal government was paying their fucking dumbasses to stay home. And anybody that could be okay with that, 18, 19 years old, I'm getting money from the government. Really? There's people that say, well, you're on VA disability. I'll trade my fucking body for yours in a heartbeat. I would much rather be busting my ass like I've done since I was fucking 12. So, Yeah. Anyway, um, I went off on a tangent there. I'm sorry. Anyway, back to this whole development thing. Me, I'm for it, and I think if I gave you my the whole delivery piece was I think was flawed, my opinion, but I think the whole room agreed with me. Um, anyway, simplify and God bless. I will be speaking at a council meeting concerning some serious issues. Um, I'm going to play a recording. I'm not going to say who it is, but it was an atrocious event. And then I'm going to get their opinions. And then I'm going to show some redacted medical records. I'm going to show some redacted police reports. I'm going to show some redacted this and that. And then I'm going to say, guess what? The person responsible for this didn't get a single charge. Nothing. Nothing. I'm not going to say names. I'm going to say nothing. I'm just going to let them marinate on that. And I'm also was approached by a couple of more families. One of them for which there's a case of abuse, gross abuse, where one of these fucking prosecutors just I'm going to tell you something, and I hope you're listening. Exposure is a bitch. And if you've ever, fucking ever, turned your back on a child being harmed, I'm going to fucking make you famous. I promise you. Because there's already a couple on their way to being made famous. I've sent these files to places that advocate for children and parents of these people who abuse, and this individual case, ladies and gentlemen, would be probably the grossest fucking form of prosecutorial misconduct I've ever seen in my fucking life. Because not only were these children abused, not only did the officer on open court, he was wrong about one thing. He said the mother was pursuing this. No, the mother didn't pursue this. Officer Elliott, you went to her house and told her you were going to pursue it. Let's get the facts straight, my friend. I mean, there's documentation that proves that. So that was just one piece of the transcript that, hey, wait a minute, she didn't go to you, my friend. You went to her for the pursuit of this felony endangering, and as you should have. At what, 2:00 in the morning, you showed up at her house. I think there's video evidence of that. So yeah, she didn't come pursuing you, sir. I mean, I think she did show up one or two times. I think I don't know one, but let's talk about what happened after. So when you enable these sick motherfuckers who get empowered by dipshits that have allowed this kind of shit, well, what are they going to do? Well, they keep doing it because they feel like they can do it and get away with it. And the father-in-law can attest to this 100% now, because hands were put on him and he was shoved to the ground. Old senior, and then I'm pretty sure the kids were again assaulted. So, but the theory behind that's going to be a hard one to explain. Yes, I use prosecutorial discretion. Okay, let me first and foremost tell you a few things. Evidence wasn't set before the people who made decisions, but it has been now. So there's going to be a change of pace on in that direction, because evidence is going to be provided now. Well, you might say, oh, well, they sided with me. No, motherfucker. They sided with one side that provided evidence, but perhaps you didn't provide the evidence that's going to be provided. So there's that. Yeah, I was given. And here's the thing, the idea that this little wormy motherfucker can try to what's the term I'm looking for? Rationalize this out. So pictures of the wound, medical doctor's report of the injury, and audio and video of the incident as it took place. Witness and a deputy sheriff who now I think had been there more than once, has swore to the statements and was pursuing a felony. And this case was said to have gone under review by Mr. McCoy. I wonder if it really did, because if it did, well, there's going to be some more people made famous, because the decisions that motherfucker has made is quite questionable anyway. Why? No, I didn't view all the evidence, but you made a fucking decision not to pursue in Casey Pictures. Get the fuck out of here. So there's going to be a lot of shit that's going to fester up, and well, here's the thing. When your whole fucking existence is and your oath and your job description is to fucking help people in need, and these people come to you and you don't help them, and in fact you fucking continue harming them under the color of law, motherfucker, you're sick, and I hope you fucking rot in a prison cell one day. I do. And chuckle all you like. But if you think there's eyes not on this from trust me, little unaccountable one, make no fucking mistake. And that's just one of the 3 cases that I'm presenting to a global network of child advocates and these advocates who destroy people like this in court, and ensure that they're not in positions ever again to cause harm to the public. And you can think whatever you want to think. Oh, by the way, the abuser was look all over social media with the lawyers here. I've never. Oh, I love him. I trust him. I love him. We remember when we used to go to camp. And now make sure that the client of his best buddy remains uncharged going into a custody battle that would then bring in the likes of a fucking quack. Yeah, I called you a fucking quack. I'll say it to your face. I'll say it in front of a fucking judge. Pushing science that's being banned by a person that originated that science, made a claim that children, sexually abused children, should learn to just live with that, and that parents aren't perfect. Then would later stab himself to fucking death. That sounds like a credible fucking person to take to take advice from when rendering and raising children, doesn't it? Get the fuck out of here. Oh, but that was embraced here by Miss Helen Rollins and Christy George Underwood in this court over here. And I'm not going to say, hey, guess what? There's people that buy into that shit. It's not like it's uncontested, because there's a whole. But I invite you to look up where 90+% of parental alienation cases are diagnosed in a fucking courtroom by mostly by an abusive parent. Not my stats. Read it. And oh, by the way, this person's being now sued in New York for fraud. This star witness did. Oh, this is going to make national. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Anyway, another tangent I went off on there. But hey, have a great evening, and look forward to seeing you guys that are watching tomorrow. I'll be there. I think Mr. Petrie is going to be there. I think Miss Johns is going to be. Don't know. But I can tell you there was a whole probably 3 pounds of shit sent to the council Monday. Some shit that, wow. I mean, it's just, it's just been a compilation of shit that's been gathered over the past shit that's happened, But hey, Is what it is. We'll see. Semper Fi. God bless. Good night.